Welcome back to the Car Groves channel, and today we're getting back to work on the Cougar, and we are going to do the rust repair on the rear of this car. As you can see, it's pretty bad. So I marked my hinges with a Sharpie on both sides of the trunk. I'm gonna pull that off first, and then I believe try to get this gas tank out. Then we're gonna cut out the spots that are absolutely, I mean, this whole center section's gotta go. I have some trunk, I don't know what you would call them, trunk floors from CJ Pony Parts. It was their cheapest economy version. It honestly doesn't look very close to what's in the Cougar. It's got a few of the body lines, but not, you know, like this section right here doesn't even look the same. That doesn't mean they're not going to work though. So I need to get all this stuff out of the way, and then we're going to test fit those onto here and see what to do and what we're playing with. I got the gas tank off, trunk lid off, and then I just kind of scraped and cleaned up this area right here. Interestingly enough, everywhere where the gas tank sealer was really thick stayed really solid. So future advice for anybody laying a gas tank in, just let it rip on the sealant. This back panel looks good. The side lips look okay. And what I mean by that is I've got some rust holes in the corners right here. So if I wanted to, I could come in and patch this. The upper area, this little shelf running right here is bad on both sides, really bad. Probably the worst of it all, this right here will be covered by the patch panel, which is no big deal. But this corner right here, that's pretty bad. And the cancer comes up into here, so we're gonna have to get up there and work on all that. It's real important to have the trunk sealed really well, because you don't want any carbon monoxide coming into the car. And any holes in the trunk with any car, I don't know why it is, it almost like sucks the exhaust gas into the car. Carbon monoxide is super dangerous. It's one of those things where, let's say you got fumes from spray paint, right? And you're feeling kind of dizzy or whatever. You go inside, you know, next day you're fine. Carbon monoxide builds up over time in your system, and so it has a really long shelf life. So let's say you were driving this Cougar twice a week and it had pretty bad leak. You might end up going bonkers in 3 months because you've built up enough carbon monoxide where it's really messing you up. And when I say bonkers, I mean there's cases of people like driving their car on long road trips and just vanishing. And the consensus is they're riding, they started tripping out, pulled the car over, and just walked off in the woods, never be found again. So yeah, be very careful with carbon monoxide. Seal your trunks up really well. So that's where we're at right now, and I need to look at this for a minute and try to decide what to attack first. So as soon as I figure it out, we'll get back to it, and we'll start, probably most likely we're gonna start cutting some of this out first. All right, so here's what we're dealing with. I got all this rusty metal cut out right here from the frame rail. Of course, the frame is in good condition. There's a little bit of pitting right here, which was the low spot in the trunk where all the water sat. But I mean, they're solid. This frame is probably, I don't know what that is, 3/16 steel, and it has a couple pits in it, but it's still strong. So the frame's fine. We can obviously weld to that. It's no big deal. The rust comes all the way up to about this line right here, if you can see it. So I'll need to cut that out. Yeah, this whole area is really bad. And the correct way to do this would be to buy some trunk skins, patches for both sides. And I believe you can get them. It looks like some places are out of stock. It might be 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. But they're $250 a set. This right here is a 67 Mustang trunk patch, but the Mustangs are shorter, so this is too short to go in here. It does give us a lot of useful metal and curves, so probably sticking with the theme of this car, we're gonna patch this all up. It's pretty daunting. I mean, this is a lot of repair work. I'm capable of doing it. It's just gonna take a lot of time. So yeah, let's dig in. Okay, so after weighing my options back and forth in regards to the trunk on the Cougar, to do it right, it's like $1,000 shipped for the trunk floors. Cougar stuff is way more expensive than Mustang stuff, and unfortunately, as far as the trunk goes, the Mustang stuff won't work. So I found a parts car Cougar that I was going to use, that I'm going to use doors off of it, the trunk floor, the dash, maybe even the motor and trans, some of the suspension. I'm going to get a lot of parts off of it. So I see this car on Instagram. Come to find out, a good friend of mine in Corpus Christi, where I used to live, knows the owner. I said, hey, I'm interested in buying it, blah, blah, blah. Guy wanted too much money for it. So fast forward about a month, and my buddy in Corpus actually gets it in on a trade. And I had a car that he wanted to trade for it. I said, yeah, no problem. I had seen this Cougar on Instagram, and it looked really cool. It's kind of like a ratty muscle car style. Looked like it ran well. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it's the same shape as the Cougar we've been working on, but it runs. It's pretty rough. So this is it right here. I actually shot a clip of the car for you guys. I can't find it anywhere. So unfortunately, you're going to see some stuff that you shouldn't see yet because the video is not out, but I want to introduce the car. So this is the parts car right here. It's in decent shape. I mean, we can salvage the doors off of it. Floors are shot. Roof's shot. It's got rust, major rust in the roof. Dash is salvageable and some of the other interior bits. The main reason though why I bought it is the trunk floor. The trunk floor is super solid, and we're going to be able to use that on this Cougar right here. So a little backstory on this. I make the trade. I go down to Corpus to get it. I get a dolly, and I'm dollying it home, and it blows a tire. What a nightmare. I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you. Because it blew the rear tire, and I didn't have the right, I didn't have a jack, I didn't have anything I needed to get it off the ground and swap tires out. I had to unload the car off the dolly by hand. I pushed it off myself, ran 20 miles into town, went to Harbor Freight, bought everything I needed, came back, jacked it up, took the wheel off, ran back in town, got a tire put on, came back, put the tire on, and then I had to load it onto the dolly by myself. Push it on. It was a freaking nightmare. Ugh. Anyways, here's some clips from when that happened. You ever have a day that's just not going your way? This is that day. All right, so my discount tire, trying to get a tire for this dang Cougar to get it home, and it's got some like 245, 55 or 60 15s, a really oddball tire on it, which of course nobody's gonna have, especially in Victoria, Texas. So anyways, the only thing they had that would fit on this rim, it's a 15x8, is a 225/70. Oh my god, it's like a truck tire. So I don't want to mess up the diff by running two different sizes, so I think we're gonna head back out to the Cougar, swap the front for the rear, and then go from there, I think. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. Thanks for watching. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe, show your friends my videos. I enjoy making these for you guys, and I'm out.